Hi guys, my name is Azadine Hack. I am a student at Florida International University studying electrical engineering with two concentrations in nanotechnology and cybersecurity. Today I'll be talking to you about information stored behind pictures, and this video has been brought to you because of a course being taught at Florida International University known as Mobile Forensics. The professor again is named Faisal Kaleem. I created an earlier video for his ethical hacking class known as Fake Access Point Protect Yourself, and I really hope you enjoyed that video, and yet I'm bringing another video to you so you have some more information and background. So let's get started with the presentation I have prepared for you guys. Again, the course being taught at Florida International University is known as Mobile Forensics. The overview of what we're going to be doing today, we'll be talking a little bit about recovery software. We're not going to get really into it too much with that. However, I will spend a lot of time talking about EXIF information, steganography, and how officials in the forensics field can be using these types of information for their cases. The recovery software typically used for Linux would be TestDisk and Photorec. Those are the two most commonly used, and they're very, very powerful and easy to use. TestDisk is a very wide-range data recovery software, and Photorec is a little bit more specific, but it's still powerful and very user-friendly. For the Windows side, there's the recovery software known as Forensics Toolkit, also known as FTK to a lot of you, and this is another great tool for extracting information. Now, these three tools that I've mentioned, not only do they recover the files that are on the phone itself, but they can extract the deleted files. And one thing I would like to point out and make very clear is when you're deleting a file on your phone or your computer, even a flash drive, you're not actually deleting the file itself. What you're deleting is the index. Now your computer is constantly indexing certain things so that you can reference it to where it's actually stored. By deleting just the index alone, you no longer have the link that will take you to the information on where it's stored. So for example, you have your information stored on Facebook, correct? However, if I just delete the Facebook link alone, it doesn't delete the recovered information stored on Facebook. So I've already mentioned it's just deleting deleting files on your computer does not actually get rid of the content. However, you're just removing the index. So by running those three applications that I've listed earlier, known as Photorec, TestDisk, and FTK, we can use those, or should I say forensic officials can use those to extract the deleted information. And it can also extract the current files that are on your phone so that they can list a few photos off an Android device that's already there. The device being used is the HTC Evo 4G by Sprint. And we won't actually run any of those three softwares that I listed earlier to recover any deleted information because this is my personal phone. And I'll just focus on a few of the pictures that I have on there already and look at some of the details that lay behind it that I'm about to talk about. One type of information is known as the EXIF. EXIF stands for Exchangeable Image File Format. Now, this is a type of tag that are used by digital cameras and smartphones. There's also another tag known as metadata, and as the slide shows, data about data content. So let's talk about this just a little bit further. What this means is behind every picture taken on a smartphone or a camera contains a set amount of information. Now, using metadata tags, we are trying to extract data about data. So we want to know exactly what is on the image that we're looking at. And later on, I will show a quick demo as to what information can be extracted and how, on a personal level, it could make you uncomfortable, or how, for a forensic official, it could literally hidden content that we want to know about. And that is known as steganography. Now, steganography is the art of hiding messages within other messages or data. It's most commonly used with pictures. Not only is it used with pictures, but it can also be used with Word documents, PDFs, text files, a whole list of other file formats. Now, what is steganography exactly, or a little bit more in English? Basically, it's taking a picture Using the picture as, let's say, using the picture as a box, and what we do is we take very important information and we put it inside that box and hide it, so that when you open the box, you can't actually see that hidden information. However, you know you have a box in front of you. Meaning, let's say you have a picture, you get that picture, it looks like one thing. However, what you can't see is the information that's been attached to it. And that information can be spreadsheets, it can be more text files with instructions, whatever the criminal had intended, or whatever future plans were listed in a text file. They hid it behind a picture, and they were going to use that picture as a medium to transmit information. So a simple SMS message from one person to another with that information stored behind the picture. Going through the media stream itself, should it be captured, it just looks like a picture. However, further detail and analysis behind it could show that there was extra information. Again, that we've talked about this, we've talked about EXIF information and recovered information itself using recovery software. Back to the overview, just so you can see what we've gone over. Now, what we'll do, just for a little bit more of an insight into what I'm talking about specifically, I'm going to run a operating system known as Backtrack 5 R3, and in Backtrack there are two specific things that I want to run in the terminal, the shell, however it's best called to you, and we will take a look behind my Android device. Again, the HTC Evo by Sprint. So let's get right to it. Here we have Backtrack 5 R3, and we already have the Android device, the HTC Sprint Evo, mounted right here. If I go into the places for Backtrack and I look at my, let's go to computer, you'll see that right here it's mounted, and we'll go into it and go to the DCIM folder. Of course, the DCIM folder is a standard folder where a lot of pictures are stored naturally. So let's go straight into my picture contents, and let's open a random picture such as this one. As we see, this looks like it's an old scheduling format. Now, if a forensic official was looking for specific information behind a subject and they got this information, what they can do is run a quick check, and behind a quick check you just go to simply properties. Here's that metadata tag that I was talking about earlier, and within the metadata there lays some information that could be useful, such as the date and time this picture was taken. Let me actually open this up just so you can see a little bit. There you go. So this looks like it was taken October 28th, 2012 at 12:46 p.m. The ISO rating at 112, and general information, details, tells you a little bit about the camera, the version being used, and some image data. One thing I would like to point out, of course I had to mount my phone by itself to the Backtrack machine because I obviously know the password and I can get it to my phone. However, should a forensic official actually get a phone or confiscate a phone from a subject that they suspect to be guilty of something, they can run different tools to crack passwords. And for you as a personal individual, if you have a weak password on your phone, please change it. Meaning, if you have an iPhone or an Android with a 4-digit PIN, that needs to change. Primarily because those are very easy. Now, what I'm interested in is to see a little bit more about this picture that was taken. We saw the properties behind it didn't have much information. However, Backtrack has a cool program known as EXIF tool, and in EXIF tool, you can see quite a lot of information. So let's go ahead and get that set up. The command would be exif tool-a-u-gl, and all I have to do now is drag the image directly there, so it puts the file location. A little easier than typing it. Let's actually try that again. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't work. And there we go. So we see the EXIF tool has executed, and I got a list of information that can be rather useful. So specifically, what am I talking about? Well, if we scroll down a little bit more, here we go. I found some GPS location, so latitudes and longitudes that can pinpoint any specific crime to the area,
and let's
just
say
to
those
see if
latitudes and
it
longitudes
matches, coincide
and I
with the
see
crime
some
scene
other
that was
information that
actually
could be
carried out.
useful.
Or, I'm sorry,
Now,
let's say it coincides with
this is what I was
the
talking
crime
about
scene
as
and
exif
it
information.
matches. Well,
It's
that's some evidence.
hard
GPS,
evidence
latitude,
uh,
longitude.
that can
We
be
see
used
some more
against
information
such.
behind the camera itself. Of course, this will also tell you the time and date it was taken. So, a very, very useful command, and you saw that it was run by just one line. There was nothing else. I didn't have to go through a user interface to extract extra information. Rather, I didn't have to put in any
Something
extra
on
information.
steganography.
Now,
So
of
let's
course,
get
I
to
don't
the
have
next
a
part.
steg file set up.
Let's say
However,
that
what I
same
do
picture
have
I was interested
is
to
the
see
command that
if
can be used
there
and
was
some
any
information.
hidden
Files. Well, one thing that I can run on Backtrack is a command that goes by steg detect-t, and all I have to do
when it returns
is,
a negative,
again,
it means
drag
there's
and drop the
no
file.
steg files found.
So,
And
therefore,
there you go.
this file
It
seems like it could be
returns a
safe.
command as negative.
Now, a lot of times, there can be information stored. If that's the case, that command will return positive. However, we can't trust just one command alone to verify whether or not there is or isn't information hidden within a picture itself. So forensic officials usually have to go more in depth and do it manually by looking at every single detail possibly that could be hidden within the file. Because this command, it's a very basic command, it's just a quick check to see. If it was hidden incorrectly or it wasn't hidden so well, I should say, this would say positive, and instantly I would know there was a hidden file within that picture. So that's pretty much it. Um, Later in another video, I can always show how steganography can be set up. There's a few nice user interfaces that we can run on Backtrack. Of course, it's third party, but you can still install it, and we could take you step by step on how to hide a file. But of course, I would have to put a disclaimer so I don't get in trouble for this, and of course, I will take no responsibility for anything that does happen from that specifically. But anyway, that is out of the scope of this video, and speaking of which, this video itself is at its end, and I would like to thank you for watching it. I hope you did learn some quite useful information behind it. Again, a quick review. We talked about XF tools, steganography, and some software recovery. My name is Izzadeen Haque, and I thank you for watching this video. Bye-bye.